If you're asking why your pieces and pawns and chess are a little bit passive, then don't worry. Let's talk about our pieces and pawns and where they should actually be placed.
Got you, homie!
Starting off with their most active end are knights. Knights are more active when placed near the center or on the center. Just follow this pattern and I guarantee you this would help your intuition. The general rule is that the higher the rank the knight hops into, the stronger it will be. Although, whether to place a knight on the center or up to the highest rank depends on the situation. Generally, you would like to place your knight at higher ranks if for tactical purposes, and on the center if for long terms. Bishops are more active in open diagonals. As you can see, this bishop on g2 grabbing the central e4 and d5 square, which makes this bishop very strong. Rooks are more active in open files or ranks. As I launch the pawn break on b6 as to create scopes for line pieces on the queen side, my opponent actually plays b4 and then a3, which allowed me to open up my rook and his rook instead of just attacking two squares after his a5 move. Queens are more active in both open diagonals and files. When I trade in the bishop and place my pawn in d6, my queen actually becomes very active, controlling diagonals and small file also. A king is more active near the center, or on center, specifically in the endgame. When you look at my king on d5, was to be compared to this king on g1, you can see that my king is on the center, controlling more squares and key squares, which are central squares, while my imaginary opponent here is much passive, not really having a concrete initiative to attack. Pawns are more active, technically speaking, if they are moving forward. Like when you're moving forward, you're actually attacking squares that are at least far from of your own territory. This is accurately portrayed with the move c4. And theoretically speaking, if they are placed on the center, as forwarded central pawns gives you additional space, scope, and increased many chances towards your opponent. This actually portrayed with the move d4. Next, let's see what they're least active in. Knights are least active near the rim of the board, or at least near it. You can think of them as allergic to these highlighted white squares here. Just focus on the blue and yellow squares. Bishops are least active in close diagonals. As you can see, playing with black not entering into the slab fence for example purposes. As we played the move e6, we needed to close our light squared bishop's diagonal, but as a byproduct making the dark squared bishop polite instead, our light squared bishop looks very inactive after e6. To make it active, we'll have to reroute to a6 now somehow. Rooks are least active in close files or ranks. Our rook here is only controlling 3 squares, not really a typical rook. Our rook here is facing up for c5. Fortunately, our opponent traded our pawn on d5, making the rook alive by controlling more squares. Queens are least active in both close diagonals and ranks of fights. By playing our queen back to d7, here after a c5 trying to kick away our queen, it is a barbaric to place our queen back on d7 since you're controlling the same number of squares as before, not really improving the position as placing your queen on c7 will be a better alternative. A king is least active near a rim. With this next move for black, at a perspective, it's very arbitrary, and to be honest, it looks like it's a waste of the tempo. This frankly just too slow. And there's really no threats here to alarm off, as king safety is not really the #1 priority in this specific position. Pawns are least active when they are not moving at all, or they're just at the original positions. So you should loop them when you have the option to increase your activity in both these pieces of pawns, to really deliver that maximum activity. However, if you're still doing all these least active moves, then
Stop it. Get some help.
remember all of these side piece placements and your intuition will skyrocket. But just take note that every position is different if it's for a tactic or by safety means. Alright, that's the end of the video. And one more thing. Thanks to those who actually watched my first video. You guys are absolute legends, man. And nothing but love. Anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe.